us kneel and pray. Let us tinkle our hands tied together. For I want to tell you about your God, who brings you your life's possessions and disaster. Now if he was inconceivable, then how can he exist? When that word has the same meaning as the word nothing. And he who thinks he knows what the word nothing means has only his own excuse for an answer. And if he is conceivable, he must be just like us, for he must have a conceivable being. And if he's got being, he must have life. And if he's living, he must also be dying. But it makes me sick to have to sing you all this, when I know that when you were born you had it. Well, society might buy its gods and power, but in its present state, well, it's never gonna buy anything honest. Me and my friends tell you what we're gonna do. It's really not a secret now that we are telling you. We're collecting the autumn leaves, taking them home to the coal-fire scene, and spending the snow time painting them green, ready for you all to see again in the springtime. This was a song that somebody asked me about some time ago, and as usual I tried to help the guy and went and had a look at the song, and then I thought, hey, why not? It's a cool song and I think it deserves a guitar lesson. So here it is, Out Fighting Ghengis Smith, from the album with the same name. For me this song is a bit of an enigma, because when the song starts it seems like it's going to be one of those big epic tracks with very intense lyrics. I want to tell you about your God and stuff like that. Nobody does that better than Roy, you know. A bit like McCoohan's Blues the following year, but I think McCoohan's Blues, it's a far better song. Well, anyway, what happens is that after the second verse chorus, at the beginning of the third verse actually, Roy suddenly aborts the take, and he says that there's no more, and then launches into this other poem, and it sounds very spontaneous. It doesn't sound like something that was planned for dramatic effect. So yes, I can't help but to feel that there should be more of those verse chorus that we were listening to, and that the song sounds a bit unfinished. But anyway, they opted to keep it like that on the record. It's very peculiar. Well, that's what we got. We got a verse, we got a chorus, and that's enough for us to do a guitar lesson. Out Fighting Ghengis Smith is in standard tuning with a capo on the 5th fret. And the verse section is played using finger picking, while the chorus is played with strumming, so you use a flat pick, which makes it difficult for me because I like to use a thumb pick for the finger picking, And then I have to get rid of the thumb pick and grab the pick for the chorus, and then all over again. It's impossible for me. Anyway, for the lesson, it's okay. For the verses, you only need two chords, E minor and this other chord, which is actually an E minor ninth, according to the internet. So this is index finger on the second string 3rd fret and middle finger on the 4th string 4th fret. The 3rd string is opened. Okay, so E minor and E minor 9. And the other thing that you need to know is that when you are playing the E minor, you have to do this descending progression on the 6th string. So you go with your little finger to the 6th string on the 3rd fret, and then with your thumb on the 2nd fret, and finally open string. I mean, the 2nd fret, I suppose you could do with your middle finger or even with your index finger. Anyway, I wouldn't do it with your middle finger, and I'll show you later why. So anyway, I prefer to use the thumb. Now let's see the chord progression that repeats on the verse, and which is based on these two chords. I'm going to use the first lines of the first verse as an example, and I'll try to play it slowly. The social game we live in is based on the session, and if you think you own a body, then you're playing. But if you think you own anything, you must be mad. And if you think that you're owned, well, you're raving. So this is the progression that repeats over and over during the verse. Now I'm going to show you the number of bars that you stay on each chord, so that you can see when you have to change chords during this chord progression. So I'm going to play slowly and I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you will notice that the first time you do the descending progression on the 6th string, you start on the 3rd beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And you will also notice that there was half a bar in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And then you change chords. And the first time you go to the 2nd chord, you stay there for 1 bar. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. The second time you do the descending progression on the 6th string, you start on the 1st beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And you stay for 2 bars on the 2nd chord this time around. Now I'm not going to show you the finger picking pattern, it's very basic. You just have to alternate your thumb between the 6th and the 4th strings, and then use your index finger and middle finger to pick the 3rd and 2nd strings. Occasionally you can use your ring finger to pick the 1st string on the E minor chord. Now for the chorus you change to one of these, to flat pick, and it starts with E minor. Me and my friends tell you what we're gonna do. So E minor, G, D, and E minor again. And here you do that descending progression again. And this is the reason why I prefer to use the thumb or the index finger, but never the middle finger, otherwise the 5th string will be opened. So you have to keep the E minor chord complete. Then repeat. It's really no secret now that we are telling you. We're collecting the autumn leaves. So the 3rd line goes G, D, E minor and D. The 4th line is the same, taking them home to the cold fire scenes. And then the 5th line, and spending the snow time painting them green. So C, A minor, D. And finally, ready for you all to see again in the springtime. So G, C, G, and E minor. So you finish in E minor and then you are back to the finger picking pattern and to another verse.